Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I will be taking inspiration from this video tutorial by Paul Smith. This is Maya with Bitfrost. And in this video, Paul is trying to explain, I think, how you can create a twist deformer using nodes in Bitfrost. And basically, he talks about the point position, and you separate point positions to X, Y, Z, and look at the Y positions, and using that value to drive the rotate by Quaternion. So let's try doing the same using SVerchok nodes. SVerchok nodes, and I'm gonna start with nothing. Gonna save this very quickly. So this is custom twist. So we're gonna start with a box, and let's create an output using mesh viewer, and we want to turn on the wireframe. Gonna increase the subdivisions. Let's also use this matrix and scale it in X and increase the subdivisions like that. So we have the box, and we want to twist it using Quaternion. So like what Paul is doing here, I'm gonna try to separate the vector. So we are gonna be basically looking at the point positions in y-axis direction. This is how we separate that. So we are getting the point positions, and if we look at the y of each point, it's all different depending on their positions in y-axis. So we can use that value, and like Paul was doing also, he maps the value in y, and from this, I don't know how many, what's the now the value here, but we're gonna use it to drive the Quaternion. We're gonna use rotate, and we're gonna use Quaternion, and I believe he did something here with the radian axis angle to Quaternion and etc. But I don't think we need to do that in our case. We probably just need to plug this into the z-axis. We can plug in the vertices there. There's the center control, but not gonna deal with that for now, and then just plug the vertices back into mesh viewer, and very quickly we can see we kind of twisting our cylinder. So we can limit the rotations from the clamp. So let me quickly check. So we can drive the X and Y value as well, but I'm gonna zero that out. So this twist is very interesting. So what's we gonna do next? So that's controlling the axis. I have a setup that's already kind of creating the twist. Just this monkey head. So with Suzanne, I subdivided Suzanne and used the vector. Oh, apparently I'm using the z-axis. Oh, yeah, right. Let's go back here. So instead of y-axis, because this is Blender, the z-axis is up and down. So instead of using the y-axis, we should be using the z-axis. So here we can see the twist happening. So I think if we turn off the clamping, we can control the twist. So it's just a matter of adjusting the value of the minimum and maximum, the original value, and then the minimum and maximum of the new value. So we get this twist deformer. Again, we can clamp it on the top and bottom. There's also list limits. List limits is automatically picking the minimum and maximum, so we just need to not worry about this value. I thought this is kind of neat. So the X and Y is kind of doing that extra rotation twist. There's a lot actually with SVerchok. They have a lot of Quaternion. There's actually Quaternion in and Quaternion out. And Quaternion math. And there's also rotation difference, which is kind of interesting. I haven't used that much because Quaternion is slightly interesting. Normally, when dealing with rotations in Blender, we use maybe just Euler or we use the axis. But Quaternion is something different with X, Y, Z, and this Y weight. But that's basically for something to do with rotations. And with Quaternion, you don't get like something like gimbal lock, especially with animation. So I don't know too much about all this yet, but maybe at some point we're gonna use them. So this is the thing with the twist. We could try using different objects other than the box to do the twisting. So in order to do that, let's try using something like cylinder, for example. So this is the vertices data. This is for the vertices, and this is for the edges and the face. So this is how we created this. We can increase the subdivisions in Z-axis and control the weight. Oh, the height. Oh, cylinder itself already have a twist, so probably we don't need to do this. I think there's something that I missed to talk about. So it does the twisting. And we can adjust, of course, the radius, top and bottom. While playing around with the twist. Maybe you can make animations this way. So if we try to make some weird animations using this, maybe the center or the X and Y, we can try doing that. So let's create a vector in and then create a vector noise. We're just gonna plug this in and we're gonna move the vector and just move it in the maybe x-axis. So just two value, and maybe for the second one we're gonna use frame info. And the output should be a noise value. We can separate this, plug this into the X and the Y. So it's gonna make this motion. The value might need some adjustment. Multiply by scalar. So now it's starting to move. And we can also maybe play around with this W value. So we have these animations. Maybe this also have some effects. But that's basically how you create a twist deformer, I think. Just a really basic one. Would be nice to be able to use this also to create a twisting along custom path. So I'm gonna take a look at some of his other videos on Bitfrost, because there's a lot of similarities between SVerchok and Bitfrost, which is I think Bitfrost was from Soft Image. It was Soft Image Eyes, I believe it was called. So alright, there you go. That's a quick tutorial based on this video tutorial by Paul Smith. Hopefully you find this interesting, useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.